So good morning, 205-942-8140. Dakarai Larriett is a proud Alabama native, son of U.S. Army veteran and a public school teacher, and a successful entrepreneur committed to serving the citizens of Alabama. His journey began in Birmingham, where he excelled at Alabama School of the Fine Arts before graduating magna cum laude with a degree in management and economics from the University of Alabama. After moving to New York, he had a significant role in the corporate leadership before launching his own pet care business in 2012. Now, during the pandemic, Dakarai returned to Birmingham, fully embracing entrepreneurship while actively engaging in community service with organizations such as United Way, Meals on Wheels, and the Greater Birmingham Humane Society. Dakarai is a graduate of the United States candidate for the United States, Alabama, I need my glasses on, driven by a passion for creating positive change in his home state. His debut memoir, Don't Flush, which I'm reading from it right now, recounts his shocking false arrest in 2024 and serving as a compelling call to action for others to engage in the political process and become the change they wish to see. Cherishing the vibrant culture and community of Birmingham, Dakarai enjoys weekends at the shooting range. Oh, yeah, they'll love you in Alabama. And attended the First United Methodist Church. Through his writing, he aims to inspire others with his journey and unwavering commitment to service. Let me say good morning to Dakarai Larriett. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Gary. It's good to be back.
Absolutely. Thank you for being there. Thank you for making us a part of your morning here on WJLD, WIXI, Dakarai Larriett. Good morning. So anything else we need to add to your bio that was not already listed in this book?
Well, it's really about service. I think that's the most important thing. And what I think resonates with folks as I travel the state is someone who's already doing the work, who's already in the community. And this is my opportunity in the last, 2 months before the primary on May 19th to get to know people and tell my story.
Yeah, and you are telling your story, Dakarai Larriett. Now, I got to ask you, you feel really good about your chances here in the Alabama of winning the Democratic nomination and then in the general election knocking off these MAGA Republicans? Because you got Barry Moore running for the U.S. Senate, and all he is, I'm running on Trump.
Right.
I love Trump. I kiss Trump's butt. I love Trump.
Trump endorsed.
Trump endorsed. That's it. That's it. And, well, that's the same playbook that Tommy Tuberville used.
Yeah.
He was Trump endorsed. Trump. That's it. I don't know anything. I don't care about anything. I'm just supporting Trump. And that seemed to resonate with some folks around here.
Well, it was also an election year, and I think Trump was not quite proven at that point in time.
Right.
So we know what the product is now. We don't like it. And Trump's not on the ballot. So it's a little bit different, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Wow. That's a good point. Trump is not on the ballot, but he really is in a lot of ways because they want him to be on the ballot.
Gosh, some people.
They want him to be on the ballot. Hey, good morning, Dakarai Larriett. Our guest this morning, 205-942-8140. So I read all of those nice things about you and your community service and all. So what is it, any particular platform? What are the top 3 issues that you see the Senate candidate should carry to Washington, D.C. for Alabama?
Well, since I've been on the show, it's almost been, maybe 11 months.
Yeah.
I've been touring the whole state and listening to people. And it's really clear. Alabamians are looking for investments in education, healthcare, and the economy. So we've started building out those detailed platforms on my website, DakaraLarriett.com. But in short, it's making sure that pre-K is affordable, that you don't graduate from college and then have debilitating debt, that we shore up all of these healthcare deserts throughout the state, and that we bring good, high-paying jobs into the state, and stop basically having our folks compete with prison labor. And we saw that in the Alabama solution. Places like Hyundai are using prison labor and suppressing wages in the state.
Really?
Yes.
I had no idea.
Yes.
They were using at the car manufacturing plant.
Yes, and the food service industry. Yep.
Wow, prison labor.
Exactly.
Wow. All right. Good morning, 205-942-8140. Well, you know, in Alabama, you got to put a law together said it's illegal to harvest prisoners' body parts. Out of all the things that you need to have a law against, harvesting prisoners' body parts is a law that you need to have to protect them. Wow, that sounds so inhumane. So like a Frankenstein sci-fi movie, man. Come on.
Well, maybe that's why we have the longest constitution in the country.
Oh yeah, the most amended constitution in the world. In the world, the most amended constitution, the Alabama Constitution. Good morning, 205-942-8140. Dakarai, what is your take on this U.S.-Israeli war going on now?
It's illegal. That's the starting point. So before we even address the merits of it, it was not done in a collaborative or legal way through the Congress. And that's one of the things I'm also running on is, frankly, reasserting the Article I powers of the Congress and ensuring that we have a seat at the table when any type of use of force comes up. And I'm an Army kid. This is very terrifying to think about a parent being put into a situation like this. No real reason, no real strategy. And we've already lost one of our own here in Alabama.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure did. Man, you know, it's going to start hitting home. Of course, we already know that with a war, there will be casualties. And the more and more we hear about these casualties, the more people are going to have a less of an appetite for a war. And it's hit home already. And people are asking why and how come. But Americans are growing tired of what's going on. And now, all of a sudden, this war is hitting them in the pocketbook. Gasoline prices skyrocketing. And it could get up to $200 per barrel if this stuff continues, especially if they can't get the oil out of Strait of Hormuz, which Trump is begging for NATO allies to come in and help us protect it. I thought the big bad bully in the United States had already devastated Iran. We've taken away every capability they have. At least that's what they told us. And now they're saying, we won't help. We need help. We didn't get everything. Apparently they got some stuff that could stop these ships from going in and out of the Strait of Hormuz, and we can't stop it. We need other folk to help us. I mean, if that's what you concluded from this? Yeah.
A lack of planning.
Lack of planning.
And it really is hitting people. I'm driving across the state. I'm in a different county every day. I see the gas prices, and it's very, very personal. But it's going to impact products. So I built my career in supply chain, actually. So during COVID, for example, we had issues with the same area of the world, that strait. And when it shuts down, it's going to result in a lack of supply stateside. It takes a couple of weeks, you know, when everything is in transit, but we're going to feel that on the shelves. Pricing's going to go up. So it's another illegal tax, just like the tariffs.
Wow, another illegal tax, just like the tariffs. I like that. And the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that his tariffs are illegal.
Yes.
Yeah, illegal.
Article I again.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. When will we learn? All right. Good morning, 205-942-8140. Dakarai Larriett, our guest this morning, Democrat, running for the nomination of U.S. Senate to represent Alabama in Washington, D.C. We're going to take a break, folks. We'll be right back with more of the Gary Richardson Morning Show. If you have any questions, comment, or concerns, feel free to do so by dialing 205-942-8140. The Gary Richardson Morning Show here on WJLD, FM 104.1, WIXI, FM 103.3 Jasper, WNHT TV 9.1, and on the World Wide Web at WJLDradio.com. We're also on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram, all over the place. Good morning. How y'all doing? We'll be right back with more of the Gary Richardson Morning Show right after we do this.
This news segment is sponsored by the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, bridging the gap between law enforcement and the community.
The views and opinions expressed on the Gary Richardson Morning Show are those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the Richardson Broadcasting Corporation or its affiliates. This program may be recorded, streamed, or distributed as a podcast. Any use, reproduction, or redistribution of this content without express permission is strictly prohibited.
The Gary Richardson Morning Show.
The Gary Richardson Morning Show.
Saturday, April 11th, all roads lead to Mobile, Alabama. The Smile Center Spring Music Festival. Keep on rolling. The biggest Southern Soul Blues show in the world, starring King George, Bus Tucker, along with Mike Clark. But I'm Young God, DJ Jones. Hey, look, we're taking it to the back with a brand new layout. Oh, it's Spring Fling, baby. And on the same stage, Big Pookie, TK Soul, Esther, Jeter Jones, Lacey, Labrado, Obi Buchanan, and a whole lot more. For tickets, check out MacDaddyProductions.com. The Smile Center Spring Fling Music Festival, Saturday, April 11th at the Grounds, Mobile, Alabama. We got over 40 artists on one stage. Call 251-379-8283.
I am there, baby.
Attention, Jefferson County. This is Probate Judge Yeshiva Blanchard, your chief election official. The leaders who shape our community are seeking office, and your voice is the most important one in the room. Be heard at the polls. Mark your calendars for Alabama's gubernatorial primary election on Tuesday, May 19th, 2026. The deadline to register to vote for the primary is May 4th, and absentee voting begins March 25th. See you at the polls.
Midfield Meats, your premier local butcher shop where excellence is our promise. As a locally owned full-service butcher, we are thrilled to provide you with top-tier customer service and the finest quality products. Discover our exciting meat bundles and explore a diverse range of fresh offerings, including chicken, sausage, beef, pork, and seafood. Experience the Midfield Meats Pick 5, where you can choose from a selection of meats, vegetables, appetizers, breakfast items, breads, and specialty items. You can feed 4 to 5 for under $25, an unbeatable value. Visit Midfield Meats at 1433 Woodward Road in Midfield. We are open Monday through Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We accept EBT and all credit cards for your convenience. Reach out to us at 205-407-4222 and don't forget to like us on Facebook. Midfield Meats is your one-stop shop for all your meal planning needs. Midfield Meats. We can't wait to serve you.
The Gary Richardson Morning Show. Nobody talks like this.
Yeah, good morning, 205-942-8140. Dakarai Larriett, our guest this morning here on the Gary Richardson Morning Show. What is it that you take to D.C. if you are elected the U.S. Senator representing Alabama? What is it differently that you would do or the folks out there can rely on you to bring to the table?
Well, I went to Washington 4 times alone just last year. So already very familiar. I actually spent a year of college in Washington, got my first government internship experience. So it's the experience working for the people that I will bring. Now, what I am not going to bring is 20 years in the Alabama State House. And frankly, we know how dysfunctional that is. I don't know if that's an asset, but it's being in the community. So I started off working at Bronx Community Pride Center, so advocating for our unhoused youth in the South Bronx when I lived in New York. Then I got into public health, so working at National Harm Reduction Coalition, fighting the opioid crisis. When I got back to Alabama, started driving for Meals on Wheels. Actually, my first elected office was HOA president, so running a large development in downtown Birmingham. So it's someone who already has done the work, has relationships in the community, and wants to do more, wants to serve at a higher level.
All right, Dakarai Larriett, so you've been traveling the entire state of Alabama, really from top to bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So where next you're going? Where you heading?
I'll be out in Lee County today. So that's like Auburn area.
Yeah.
Speaking to the Democratic group there. And there is an events link on my website, DakariLarriett.com, and you can see where I am. So I'm in a new spot every single day. Sometimes we're doing up to 4 events a day. So we're still 2 months out from the primary.
Oh, my goodness. That can be expensive. So where's the money coming from?
It's coming from your listeners. It's coming from folks who believe in our cause. So we raised our first $100,000 last year, and we're still going strong. And we're getting support across the state, across the nation even. And in fact, I'll be heading out to New York City tomorrow for a fundraiser. So that's just what it is. As a Democrat, we've got to raise money where we can through the people, and this is grassroots. So we have a big event planned in New York City Tuesday night.
You know, there's a battle going on about whether or not we should eliminate straight party ticket voting. What's your thought on that?
Well, I just don't see how the situation gets worse for Democrats by going to a non-straight ticket platform.
Right.
So my idea, and we've got to look at the data, I believe in evidence-based approaches. If you have to go through that tactile experience of choosing the most qualified person,
right,
I think you're naturally going to select more Democrats than you do today. Right now, what I'm seeing is folks just click that bubble for Republican and they're done. And you know, we're a plus 12 Republican state, so that puts the Democratic Party at a disadvantage.
I agree. The Republicans, last time I checked, outnumbered Democrats in straight ticket voting, almost 250,000 folks. So I don't know how keeping that system actually benefit Democrats.
Right.
Because,
Yeah, I'd love to get some stats on how many people actually use that.
Right.
Because while I'm a Democrat, I don't use straight ticket voting. I still go through the process of selecting the most qualified candidate as I go down my ballot. So I wonder how many people actually are using it still.
Yeah. Good morning. So we tell folks, hey, listen, don't waste your time. Just check that one little box and be done with it. But, you know, we do that. Now, Joe Reed, head of the ADC, says that getting rid of straight ticket voting will destroy the Democratic Party. But right now, the Democratic Party is being done away with the way it is right now. Proof in the pudding is that there's not a single Democrat elected statewide in this state. Not a single one. So how is it straight ticket voting benefiting us?
I don't see how it does. But I think this is going to be a really exciting year. We have so many great candidates up and down the ballot, and we're going to give people a reason to turn out on May 19th. So what I've heard from a lot of people as I've traveled the state, even Democrats, is there's just no one on the ballot. In fact, some Democrats have actually been voting in the Republican primary because there's really nothing to vote for in the Democratic primary. So it's harm reduction, essentially. How do I pick the the Republican that's going to cause the least amount of harm in the primary?
Yeah. The Republican who can cause the least amount of harm.
Exactly.
Wow.
Harm reduction.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, Dakarai Larriett, our guest this morning. And, of course, your phone calls, your questions, your comment, your concerns, 205-942-8140. What is it that you want from a United States Senator? This is your opportunity to ask a candidate some candid questions about what can he bring to the table in terms, does his ability, does it match your wants? Does it match what you're desiring in a candidate for Senate? All right, you have a chance to ask questions, and you can do that now by dialing 205-942-8140. The Gary Richardson Morning Show with our guest, Dakarai Larriett. Now, on the front of your book called Don't Flush, wow, the memoir of Dakarai Larriett, From a False Arrest to a Political Awakening, My Journey to Making a Difference. A false arrest? What happened?
Yeah, so I was a resident of Alabama, but driving through the state of Michigan back in 2024, and was apprehended by the Michigan State Police, tortured, driver's license
Wait
confiscated.
a minute.
Yes.
Tortured?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So what were you doing? You were drinking, driving? I mean, what would cause that?
Well, it was clearly a racially profiled stop.
Really?
And we were fortunate after fighting for months to get the body and dash cam from that night. And what we realized after they accused me of drug trafficking by way of ingestion, forced me to use the restroom publicly, yelled at me, "Don't flush," in front of the booking station. 6 months later, we got the body and dash cam, and we saw the troopers were actually trying to plant drugs in my vehicle.
Whoa!
Yeah.
What?
Yes. So they wanted a drug charge that night, and they were just upset, frankly, that I was completely sober and I don't use drugs, and it just, frankly, I didn't play into their stereotype.
Wow. Did you ask questions? Why am I being stopped?
The allegation was that I was making some type of moving violation, which I was not. Then they accused me of being under influence of alcohol, and they were just moving the yardstick looking for something, and they couldn't find it.
And that happened in the state of Michigan?
It did, yeah.
Okay. Wow. You would think that up north they would have that kind of stuff. You expect that in Alabama, but wow.
Well, I learned later that it was a quote-unquote sunset town. So even as Alabamians, I think we sometimes think the North is so much more progressive.
Yeah.
Certain parts are worse, frankly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. So how did you get out of it? You had Johnny Cochran or somebody? I mean, you had the dream team. How do you get out of that?
Many thousands of dollars later.
Wow.
And I'm still fighting this battle. I'm still trying to clear my name. And perfect example is I was up for a renewal of a global entry card, and the officer stopped and said, "Well, what happened in April of 2024?" So it's going to be an ongoing battle to clear this completely off of my record and to get justice. But to this day, the troopers remain fully employed, and I have sued the police force. And unfortunately, this force field of protection persists around the police, qualified immunity.
Really?
And that's one of the things I'm also campaigning against. For example, last year, HB 202, Back the Blue Act, passed in Alabama.
Right.
This expanded qualified immunity not just to law enforcement, but also to corrections officers. So I've written my own legislation. I call it the Motorist Bill of Rights, and it protects all of us when we're in our interactions and we're on the road with law enforcement.
All right. Speaking of law enforcement, what's your take on ICE? The Democrats are holding up funding for the Department of Homeland Security because they asking for ICE reform. In fact, the Democrats are saying, we just want ICE to act like law enforcement. We want them to wear body cameras. We don't want them to wear masks to disguise their who they are. We want them to have the same functionality as a law enforcement officer.
Right.
What's your thought on all of that?
Yes, I think that finally the Congress, and in this case the Senate in particular, is using their authority. So absolutely, the power of the purse is very powerful, and it has not been exerted properly in the last year. So yes, name badges, faces available for people to see who they're interacting with.
Right.
These are very basic asks for ICE. And then we need for ICE to follow the law. So due process, stop murdering citizens on the street for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Yeah.
These are very basic asks, and we need the legislation to support that.
All right. So you're encouraging Democrats not to give up.
Correct.
Right, not to give up. All right. All right, good morning, 205-942-8140. Dakarai Larriett, candidate for U.S. Senate here in the state of Alabama. Good morning. Hi there, you are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, Gary. How are you?
Hey, Las Vegas. Good morning. How are you?
Yes, it's good. I'm fine. I'd like to ask your guest a question, if I may.
Sure.
Yes. Sir, are you familiar with the American Israel Public Affairs Committee?
I'm not familiar with that specific committee. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Oh, yes. It's a lobbying group for Israel.
Oh, the AIPAC.
Okay.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay, yes.
Have they approached you with any any bribes or any money like they did Harry Poole or $500,000?
They have not, and that is not an organization that we would certainly be involved with at all. And I've made this commitment. I am not accepting any donations from people or organizations that are misaligned with the goals of this campaign.
Thank you. I appreciate your comments.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, Las Vegas, that's it. Thank you, sir. Hey, good morning. You are on the air. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Liz. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Mr. Mayor, would you help spearhead and try to see that Alabama makes sure and goes ahead and tries to get a gambling commission to check these machines for gambling for legality?
So this is largely going to sit under state operations, but what I can commit to is fairness in business. And just with my own lived experience from criminal justice to 20 years in corporate America, I will support legislation that ensures that machines are fair and operating in a way that doesn't advantage one party or the other.
Okay.
Because the way they set it with the random number generators, these machines actually contradict themselves. You can't just set a machine to have a payout rate and then say there's a random number generator. That's an oxymoron. It needs to be investigated the way you have a fair chance. If you put your dollar in, you should have a fair chance to get it back. Okay, thanks for your comment.
All right. Odds always against you, Matt. The House always win.
Yeah, that is one thing we
That's
know.
it. I don't care. That's been going on since the beginning of time. All right. That's the risk you assume when you put your money in there.
Yeah.
Ain't no guarantee you're going to win. None whatsoever. He wants some guarantee. He wants a guarantee. No. All right. Stop putting your damn money in the machines, Matt. All right. Good morning, 205-942-8140. The Gary Richardson Morning Show. Dakarai Larriett, candidate for U.S. Senate. Our guest this morning. Let's go. Hi there. You are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How you doing?
Hey, Mario. Pretty good. How are you?
Doing well. Mr. Larriett, first of all, I love what you're saying, but I'm really intrigued on what happened to you in Michigan.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And, you know, everybody who knows when I speak, I say everybody needs their own dash camera, their own body camera in their vehicle.
I learned that.
So I have them. I have my own body camera, I have my own dash camera, so I wish they would have tried that with me. But more concerning than that is the fact that you have qualified immunity in the act of committing a crime while trying to plant drugs on a motorist.
Yes.
Wow. Now, there's two crimes in there, in my opinion. The planting of the drugs, and where the hell did you get them?
Exactly. It's so upsetting, and I've learned a lot in the last 2 years of fighting this matter, but the video that we got was so redacted, so edited, that we sent it off to an audio-visual analyst, and they said, this is not even evidence. It's missing metadata, it's jumping in parts, the audio obviously is redacted. So they basically spun the video back, sent it to the judge, and the judge kind of looked the other way and ran interference and said qualified immunity, and everything that happened to me that night doesn't matter because of the allegation that I ran a red light.
Wow.
So this has to go up higher than just the state level now. This is where Congress really does go into play.
Yes.
Because you now have to have federal law take precedent over just random state law.
Exactly.
So we got not only officers with drugs, planting drugs, and now we have a illegal cover-up.
Wow.
And this is what I want people to understand how important these elections are. When we vote for a president or a governor, these are folks that will ultimately have the ability to appoint judges.
Right.
So we need judges that are looking out for us, that will interpret the law fairly and not run interference so they can get their next promotion to the Supreme Court.
Exactly.
So every election.
Your story is just it should sound off alarm bells to not only Democrats but Republicans, because if it happened to you, it can happen to any of us.
Yep.
And I like I said, I tell people about dash cameras and body cameras. I've been saying it. Gary knows for the longest.
Yep.
So I'm glad you brought that to the forefront, because what if you didn't have the desire to fight back? What would happen right now?
For the ability.
And right.
Yeah.
So hey, I wish you Godspeed. Please, at the end of your set, please let us know how we can contribute to your campaign. Because if you got that kind of fight in you, my friend, I'm fighting with